Maps.
Orange County Sheriff's Deputy Wesley Dean was admittedly agitated and looking to inflict pain on a jail inmate when he wrenched the man's hand high behind his back, breaking his arm just above the elbow. After the inmate sued the county, Dean admitted during a sworn deposition that he used excessive force. He apologized for snapping the suspected drunken driver's humerus bone while using an unsanctioned technique inmates in Southern California jails call chicken winging. He also apologized for intentionally stomping on inmate Charles Huntsman's bare foot 6 times as he pushed the intoxicated man toward a cell. Dean characterized the incident as a rare, personal lapse, not indicative of department protocol. Are Southern California jailers injuring inmates with abusive arm holds? SCNG. It wasn't an academy-approved technique, Dean said of the May 2016 arm bending, which occurred minutes after Huntsman entered the jail and as a second deputy held the inmate's other arm. It's not a situation I'm proud of. X-ray of the broken arm of Charles Huntsman. The issue has resurfaced repeatedly in recent years in claims for damages filed against the agency, lawsuits, and settlements, as well as a recent high-profile critique of the jail system by a civil rights group. How frequently improper control holds are used on Orange County jail inmates, and how many injuries may result, isn't clear. Detailed data on complaints involving such encounters wasn't readily available from the department. Chicken winging is an imprecise term used by inmates for any type of control hold in which the arms are swept behind the back and pushed up toward the shoulders. Some versions of the holds are sanctioned by the sheriff's departments in Orange and San Bernardino counties and other law enforcement agencies. More extreme and often unauthorized versions of the hold include torquing the straightened arms upward away from the back and toward the head, causing the subject to bend over. Arm holds have figured in legal claims and court battles, including a $227,000 settlement in the Huntsman case last month, against the Orange County Sheriff's Department dating back to at least 2008. They were cited prominently in a 2-year investigation of the county jail system released in June by the American Civil Liberties Union of Southern California. And a former nurse at the county jail told the Southern California News Group that over-aggressive chicken winging has been used by deputies despite warnings from medical workers that it would harm inmates. Orange County officials have denied all the claims for damages. Allegations of chicken winging aren't limited to Orange County. Last month, inmates at a San Bernardino County jail were given a $2.8 million settlement for abuses that included painful arm holds. An attorney involved in the award said San Bernardino County Sheriff's employees continue to use improper techniques. We're getting calls that it's worse than ever before, it's a form of torture, Victorville attorney James Terrell said. While some pain compliance holds are allowed by Southern California Sheriff's Departments, law enforcement officials stress they may not be used to intimidate, harass, or provoke inmates. Sheriff's officials in Orange, San Bernardino, and Los Angeles counties said all complaints of inmate abuse are taken seriously and investigated. Deputies must have an understanding of, and true appreciation for, the limitations of their authority, said Orange County Assistant Sheriff Bob Peterson. This is especially true with respect to deputies overcoming resistance while engaged in the performance of their duties. The recent allegations involving improper use of control holds in Orange County jails come as the system continues to grapple with other criticisms of its operations, including the slaying of an inmate in June and the escape of 3 prisoners in 2016. The U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division is investigating allegations that Orange County deputies and prosecutors systemically misused jailhouse informants and withheld evidence to illegally obtain convictions. And a separate federal probe, triggered by the 2006 murder of an inmate, is examining the workings of the 5-jail network. Jonathan Smith, who served as the U.S. Department of Justice's top civil rights lawyer until 2015 and is familiar with the department's investigations of the Orange County jails, said the allegations of improper chicken winging found by Southern California News Group suggest institutional problems may remain within the sheriff's agency. I know the Orange County jail has been under scrutiny. There is some view that it improved, Smith said, but it seems they've returned to their own bad practices. He heard the arm pop. Charles Huntsman was driving through Newport Beach shortly after 11 p.m. in May 2016 when the red police lights lit up his rear-view mirror. A 33-year-old waiter from Newport Beach with a previous hit-and-run conviction, Huntsman was arrested for driving under the influence and transported to the Intake Release Center at the Orange County Jail in Santa Ana. He was there fewer than 3 minutes when he was injured by Deputy Dean. Dean testified that Huntsman cursed at the jailers and disobeyed directions. After watching the video, Dean conceded he gave Huntsman sometimes less than a second to comply with orders and he didn't feel physically threatened by the inmate. When asked by an attorney why he became so agitated, Dean said that the inmate was fidgety, had wagged his tongue at the deputies and was more passive-aggressive than anything. Dean, a 3-year jail veteran, testified he threw Huntsman's shoe down a corridor because he was frustrated. He stood the inmate up, bent Huntsman's arm high behind his back, marched him down the hallway and thrust him against a wall, breaking his arm. After Dean heard Huntsman's arm pop, the deputy and his supervisors failed to file a use of force report, although Dean acknowledged department policy required him to do so. Dean testified he knew he had defied the rules and heard Huntsman screaming in pain, complaining his arm had been broken. Experts in police use of force techniques say the string of inmate abuse complaints in Orange County, 17 damage claims and lawsuits, including 6 involving arm holds since June 2014, is troublesome. You'll get compliance a lot quicker, but if you go high enough, their shoulders will go out of their sockets, said George Wright, a criminal justice professor at Santa Ana College and a former U.S. Treasury agent. You wouldn't teach it and, if you saw somebody do it, you'd correct them. Smith, the former Federal Justice Department civil rights lawyer, said the injury caused by Deputy Dean was particularly concerning. You know what force it takes to break somebody's arm? It's a huge amount of force, said Smith, now the executive director of the Washington Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs. According to the ACLU, improper chicken winging occurs throughout Southern California. In July, nearly 40 inmates at the West Valley Detention Center in Rancho Cucamonga were given the $2.8 million settlement from San Bernardino County after they alleged sheriff's deputies frequently chicken winged them and used tasers without provocation. One current inmate who was not involved in the lawsuit, William Hernandez, 53, of Big Bear, said abusive arm holds continue to be used at the detention center despite the recent settlement. They grab guys and practically tear their arms off behind their backs. They chicken wing them, said Hernandez, who is awaiting sentencing for rape and burglary. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Lieutenant Sarkisihan Nasayan said deputies there do not apply rear control holds in a manner that will injure inmates or suspects. We do not train in elevating the hands so much as to inflict injury or torture, Sahan Nasayan said. These statements, by inmates, are one-sided and our deputies are not trained in chicken winging to injure, nor is it an approved technique by our agency. ACLU Jail Coordinator Esther Lim said her organization receives many complaints from inmates at Los Angeles County detention facilities, who regularly report chicken winging involving excessive force. Los Angeles County Sheriff's officials say deputies in that agency are taught only to use enough force to control the subject. Chicken winging, also known as pretzeling, is cited frequently in the ACLU of Southern California's June critique of Orange County's jails, which described numerous allegations of excessive force by deputies against inmates. At least 10 of the 120 inmates interviewed for the report said they experienced or witnessed deputies twisting inmates' arms behind their backs, inflicting pain. Incarcerated individuals reported that the technique is used when no force is needed and in circumstances where far less severe force was appropriate and sufficient, the ACLU wrote. One female inmate reported seeing deputies beat incoming inmates, several of whom were chicken winged and pushed around for no apparent reason, according to the ACLU report. Citing the report's findings, the ACLU called for Sheriff Sandra Hutchins to resign immediately. Hutchins stunned department observers by announcing retirement plans that same day, although she said her decision had nothing to do with the allegations. Hutchins rejected the ACLU report's findings, saying the authors relied on questionable accounts by former inmates and failed to interview department staff. Hutchins also said the 120 people interviewed by the ACLU were only a small portion of the 350,000 inmates who passed through the county's jails over the past 6 years. 5 of 6 claims and lawsuits against the county over the past 3 years that allege abusive arm holds describe nearly identical scenarios. A person is arrested for driving intoxicated and taken to jail, where they are abused for small or imagined slights, such as looking around or having difficulty following directions. That's what Allison Baruch, a 41-year-old Trabuco Canyon entrepreneur, said happened to her in May 2015. Baruch, who owns a graphic design firm, sued the county in December, saying her one-night stay in jail left her with an aching arm and a bloody head. Baruch was originally supposed to be cited and released on her own recognizance on suspicion of drunken driving, according to court documents. But during booking, deputies became impatient with the woman when she didn't hand them her socks and later when she argued with jailers about taking out her belly ring, according to a deputy's sworn deposition. Allison Baruch filed a lawsuit against Orange County in December alleging mistreatment by OC Sheriff's deputies Olivia Coco and Tara Carrillo, who are flanking her. Baruch alleges deputies injured her arm during her booking. OCSD security camera video. Security videos show deputies Olivia Coco and Tara Carrillo flanking Baruch, yanking her arms behind her back, forcing her down a hallway as she grimaces in pain. Both arms, shoulders feel like they are being dislocated, Baruch later testified. I'm involuntarily shrieking due to the pain. Coco and Carrillo didn't file a use of force report. Coco testified later that she and Carrillo used a sanctioned control hold and not force requiring a report. In a sworn deposition, Coco testified she had ordered Baruch to face the wall and that when the woman turned her head for a moment, the deputy feared Baruch was preparing to attack. She added that Baruch was overreacting, had a smart-ass attitude, and jailers couldn't allow other inmates to think they could act similarly aggressive or disrespectful. You could barely put your hand on somebody and just put your hand on their shoulder and they scream and they act like you're attacking them, Coco said during the deposition. I didn't think Baruch's experience was traumatic at all. The case is awaiting trial. Coco and Carrillo also were accused of using excessive force on Elena Grant, 49, of Newport Beach, the founder of an online medical supply store. Grant sued the county in 2015, alleging that the 2 deputies injured her while booking her for suspected drunken driving in April 2014. The case is currently in trial. In the security video of Grant's booking, 3 female deputies suddenly grab her, raise her arms behind her back and march her down a long hallway. Grant can be seen contorting in pain. Elena Grant sued the county in 2015 alleging deputies injured her while booking her on suspicion of drunken driving. Grant alleges deputies injured her back while transporting her to a cell at a county jail. OCSD security camera video. The county said in court documents that Grant failed to comply with orders and deputies placed her in a routine control hold. A former jail worker, who has filed a federal workplace discrimination complaint against the department, also alleged in an interview that deputies regularly use excessive force, including chicken winging, in Orange County jails. Jennifer Westfield, 31, a licensed vocational nurse who resigned from the jail in December, said in an interview that during 7 years treating Orange County inmates, she saw them chicken winged frequently, and witnessed a deputy break a man's arm while using the technique. During that incident, Westfield alleged, jail supervisors scrambled to explain the fracture, asking nurses if they could find evidence the man had a history of osteoporosis or other health disorders. When some nurses confronted deputies about the harms of twisting and wrenching inmates' arms, Westfield said they were rebuffed and criticized for speaking out. They go off on us, Westfield said. You will get totally disrespected by the deputies after that. Those nurses are then labeled. It's known that if you speak against the deputies, that you will be labeled as a snitch, and you carry that reputation. 2 other retired nurses interviewed by the Southern California News Group said they did not see anything improper with the deputies' handling of inmates and never experienced intimidation. Institutional failures. In 2009, Orange County paid Newport Beach real estate broker Jeff Pittman a $20,000 settlement after he alleged deputies wrestled him to the ground with an arm hold maneuver, choked him and used a taser on him while booking him into jail for suspicion of drunken driving. Pittman's attorney Thomas Beck said deputies yanked his client's arms backward until they rose above his head, causing intense pain. That complaints of improper chicken winging continue to emerge should be a cause for concern and close scrutiny, some experts said. If it happens routinely at any given jail, it speaks to the culture of the workforce, and it's the responsibility of the jail to set that culture, said Martin F. Horn, a distinguished lecturer at John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York. Dean, the deputy who admitted improperly using the hold that broke Huntsman's arm, testified he was interviewed by Internal Affairs and later suspended for 3 days. Dean also explained that he later completed 3 days of routine, annually required training for deputies working the jails, including refresher instruction on how to properly perform control holds. But he testified he wasn't asked or required to take additional training for breaking Huntsman's arm. By April, he added, he was working patrol duty, generally considered a better assignment among deputies.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that's that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself. 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So If you can give more than that, that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that, that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now. Where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran in, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran in no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.